Welcome to the Superhero's Journey, episode number 14, a podcast where we talk mainly about superhero movies and TV shows with a bit of Star Wars and other things in the genre. My name is Carl Freemerman, and with me is my co-host,
Brian Shores.
Alright, and you can find us on Twitter at Superhero Journey, no E in super, and write to us at Superhero Not Possessive. Yeah, everything's fine, Brian.
Dude, it wasn't going.
That's fine.
It looked weird.
Don't worry about it. We got actually a really good bit of stuff to talk about here.
Yeah.
We are late. Okay, we apologize for that.
Just a few days late recording.
Yeah.
One day late for the release.
It is Tuesday today, and it was supposed to be out already.
Yeah.
Let's get into this hot breaking story right now. All right. WB.
The one that
NDC.
just broke our brains right before we started recording.
Is in the early stages.
Yep. For some reason.
Of making a Joker origin story movie.
I think you could have stopped that sentence like right before you said origin story. It's like they're in development of a joke. Like it's
yes.
Yeah. Like it's such a bad idea.
The joke gets better. With the Hangover writer Todd Phillips set to co-write the script with 8 Mile writer Scott Silver.
Like, that just sounds so weird.
It does sound pretty bizarre. I mean, Joker's funny. Hangover.
Yeah.
He's also a thug now. 8 Mile.
Okay, no joke. I think you 100%. I think you legitimately just stumbled on like the mindset. I swear to you, that was in a pitch meeting.
That's the WB execs. Like, just that's how they think.
Yeah, that has to be it. They're like, okay, he's funny. You know, a lot of people like those Hangover movies, but he's also kind of a badass. What's a scary rapper, but not too scary?
Yeah.
Eminem. Okay, yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Done. Todd Phillips is looking like he's going to direct this movie, according to this story. This is all via Deadline, by the way.
Yeah.
This came out of the blue, it seems like to me. Martin Scorsese will produce, which is which I was reading and I could not stop laughing as I was saying that because it seems so out of place and ridiculous.
Yeah. I think at this point they're just buying his name. Like there's no way he's going to be an active producer. They're just like, okay, we need to lend some credibility to this. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is one thing on this that, you know, late in the article we came to that is shining a little hope in it, and that it doesn't look like it's going to be starring Jared Leto as the Joker.
Yeah. Which is really bizarre because in that same article it says that, you know, they're going to look for a different actor to play this character, possibly younger, but they also say, oh yeah, but Jared Leto is coming back for Suicide Squad 2 and Gotham City Sirens.
Yeah, I don't...
So...
I mean, I guess they're sticking with it because they're saying that this is supposed to take place in the early 80s, but...
Oh yeah, that's more about this. Apparently it's going to be a gritty, grounded, hard-boiled crime film set in the early 80s.
Yeah, I'm sure. As a point of reference, I just did some quick Googling. Jared Leto is 45 as of now, and so him being born in 71, that would put Joker in the early 80s probably around 13 at the oldest.
Yeah, tween Joker.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a gritty, grounded, hard-boiled crime film about a tween.
Yeah, he's going to be like stealing a Coke from the corner store, you know, have the clown mask from like the beginning of the first Halloween because, you know, he's not allowed to like get like full makeup yet because I don't know. I got nothing.
I don't know.
I don't have snark for this.
It even said in the article that they're gonna do like a different origin story. It's not gonna be something that's in the incarnation before. Oh, no. Which I'm like, yeah, okay, great, but I don't care. I don't want this. I don't. The Joker's origin is something that has been tried to have been told in several different ways, and it's never worked out.
And they've never actually given a definitive one. There are always just been like, you know, like a choose your own adventure, like, you know, his story is like multiple, or his backstory is like multiple choice. Like, there's no definitive origin to the Joker. Like the most common one, or the most commonly held one, I think, is the Killing Joke one, because it is reminiscent of a story from the 40s that I think it was that Bill Kane or Bill Finger wrote. No, Bill Kane. But and that's the one where he was like the Red Hood, and he broke into Ace Chemical Factory. Like that, I think, is the one that's like most commonly held. But then you have the Jack Napier one, which I think is the second most widely known from the '89 Batman. Dude, like, and I don't think he needs an origin.
Yeah, the most interesting thing about that character is having a mysterious origin. I mean, not the most, but one of the most interesting things. Like, you're not supposed to know where he came from, what his origin is, and the way they played it up in The Dark Knight was, in my opinion, the best way that anybody could have ever done it. Where essentially, in that movie, if you don't remember, he told multiple stories about how he got his scars on his face. Like that, the idea of him sort of making up his own past, and maybe he doesn't even remember, or maybe he's told so many different stories. Like he just does it for fun, and he doesn't even care what the original story is. It's not even important. Maybe it's not even significant.
Yeah, it was cool. They basically just hit a point where they're like, you know what, we don't need to tell the origin story of the Joker. He's just going to be there. Because if Batman doesn't know the origin of the story or the origin of the Joker, then you don't need to know either. And that was totally cool. That worked perfectly for the movie. He just showed up, was a force of nature, was not even arguably, was the best part of that movie.
Absolutely, like hands down, of course.
Yeah, and
that movie's not even that great without him. If you think about it.
No, there's a lot of like weird little plot holes and like, sketchy acting and like that stupid Batman voice.
I'm Batman.
It's like, yeah, we know, we can hear it. Just talk in your regular voice, Bruce. We've all figured it out.
All right, so on the bright side, I guess, I was looking over this guy, Todd Phillips, the writer-director of this supposed origin Joker movie. Yeah. And he has done he's written a couple good movies. He's written Road Trip, Old School, Borat. Well, the story he's credited on that, not the screenplay.
Well, I think, because I think most of that was improvised.
Yeah. Due Date. Now, interestingly, Hangover Part 2 and 3, not 1. Yeah. Which he directed Hangover Part 1, and 2 and 3. And then War Dogs, also, which is a movie I saw recently that I actually liked better than I would expect. It was a pretty good movie, actually.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but actually, off of your recommendation, I might check it out.
Yeah, and he's directed pretty much all those movies that he's written. So, I mean, it's a pretty good pedigree. The other guy, the other writer, 8 Mile, I think is actually 8 Mile is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a decent like character drama. Like it's a good movie. I've seen it once. I've seen it twice. I've never really felt the need to go back to it, but
twice is pretty good for that. I'm surprised you saw it twice.
Well, I saw it in the theater with like some friends, and then it was probably like a year or two later. It was out on DVD, and one of my friends wanted to watch it, so I was like, yeah, I'll check it out again.
And this guy also wrote The Fighter, which is a great movie with Mark Wahlberg and Christian Bale. Yeah. Really, really good. So, I mean, there's a possibility this could be a really well-written movie, but, like, I don't know why they're even bothering. Couldn't you put that talent on something else?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much that they could do that it seems like they're just neglecting. And I don't get it.
And back to Joker, like the Jared Leto Joker, coming back for Suicide Squad 2 and Gotham City Sirens. I mean, come on. Like, most people did not like that character. I can't imagine that you polled the average person off the street who saw this movie. Most people are going to say, like, no, I didn't like that.
See, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people didn't like it. I mean, I didn't. I know you didn't. Like, we're very much in agreement on that, and I hope that a lot of people share our opinion. But I don't know if it's like the Transformers thing, where you have the vocal minority that's just like, oh, these movies suck. I hate these movies. Why does Michael Bay keep on making them? And then you have like all these other people that are just going to see him because they're like, yeah, it was fine. It was cool to turn my mind off for 2 hours.
I feel like I see a lot of people though who will say that they still enjoyed Suicide Squad, but will also say they didn't really like Joker. Like, I'm pretty sure that he wasn't popular and wasn't well liked in that role. And that, like, gangbanger portrayal, like, god damn, why?
Yeah.
It's so awful.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see more of it. And now, God. Like, I really want to like the DCEU. Like, I really do. Like, I dare them. I challenge them to make me like these movies. Like, it's not that hard. Like, I'm very critical when it comes to movies and stuff. But, like, I can forgive things in weaker movies if most of it's good, you know. Like, you can have problems. It's not like little problems make me all of a sudden like, oh, that movie's terrible because
I think the best example,
little thing happens.
I think the best example of what you're talking about is a movie we just talked about, Dark Knight. There are a lot of problems with that movie. There's a lot that's arguably not that great or not good about that movie, but you have something that's really strong in there that makes that movie incredibly enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, pretty much everyone forgives the awful Batman voice.
Yeah.
Everyone admits it's bad.
Yeah. Like, it's a thing that people will make fun of, but they're like, you know what? There's so much other good stuff in that. You know, and I think it even carried on into Dark Knight Rises, which I think on its own is not that strong of a movie.
Yeah, it's a weaker movie, but it's still a good movie because there's a lot of good stuff in it.
Yeah.
You know, just because the voice is still there and the dumb Robin thing in the end. And a bunch of other smaller things like, you know, his broken back somehow magically heals. And
because they pulled him up on a rope.
Yeah.
That's how you fix a broken back.
Okay.
You pull him up on a rope in a South American prison.
Yeah, maybe it was just dislocated or something.
Sure. Looked pretty broken.
But you know, that's this needs to happen. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I'm still just totally dissatisfied in the DCEU, and ironically, Man of Steel has become like the best thing for me in that universe at this point. And I never thought that was gonna be the case.
For me, it's not the case. I still will take Batman vs Superman over that for how much I enjoy Ben Affleck as Batman.
I can't because the action sequences in that movie are mostly garbage. You got one decent action.
I didn't say anything about the movie, dude. I like Ben Affleck in that movie. Right. I don't like a lot of the things that they do with Batman, you know, but I like his portrayal of Batman and Bruce Wayne. Like,
well, Michael Shannon as Zod. Come on. We gotta love. You love that. It's great, right?
It was good, but it was underused.
Yeah, there could have been more of him. Yeah, could have been more Zod, less like.
But at the same time, though,
less Lois. No, I don't know.
At the same time,
less Jesus imagery.
Yeah, like I don't care about Zod anymore. Like the same way that I don't want to see Lex Luthor anymore. Like.
Yeah, that's true. We've seen it all before.
There, like you have all of these great villains for these comic properties, and yet they're not using them. They're going back to the same two.
Right. Yeah.
Do an awesome Bizarro, or Mixier's Pitalik. Like, do something awesome like that.
One day,
they will hire us. They will listen to the podcast in its entirety and be like, "Okay, you think you can do better? Fine, we'll have you make the movies, and then we will, and we'll do them better." Like, okay, well, I mean, we were wrong, but thanks for all the money. We're like, no problem, DC.
Yeah.
It's like, can we have some of it? And they're like, I don't know, maybe.
They're like, you should have locked up a contract. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like you were too busy being spiteful, making a better movie for us. Like, we're gonna go back to our solid gold houses.
Oh man! All right. This whole story just threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
I mean, it has a lot of talent behind it, and they're taking Jared Leto out of it. So I'll give it an open mind. Hopefully, like you said, it's a mid-year April Fool's joke. But
yeah, right.
We'll see.
It's hard. It's really, really hard to believe this is a thing, but. With the way DC is going with all their movies, I mean, it definitely seems like anything can happen, and they're absolutely doing the, you know, throwing crap at the wall and seeing what sticks. Yeah. That's what they're doing right now.
Yeah. You know, and I mean, why not? Because
there's a lot of reasons why not. Because maybe you should actually try and make something really good. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something else that may or may not be good.
Okay.
We're going straight into the big stories for today. Okay.
Obi-Wan
movie.
Yep.
It's a thing.
It is a thing. Your dreams are finally being answered, Carl. It's proof that Hollywood is listening to this podcast, and they're like, all right, Carl, you can shut up now. We're making your Obi-Wan movie.
It's more like, whatever this guy says that he wants, it's not happening.
We're just going to do the opposite.
Pretty much opposite of that.
Yeah.
So they're it's pretty much, I think, like, solid that this is actually happening. The next Star Wars movie is going to be an Obi-Wan solo sort of whatever story it is.
Yeah. Like as far as I know, Ewan McGregor still isn't signed on for it. I don't think he's commented on it yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, the director they have for it, which is I think the only thing that they've really released about it.
Stephen Daldry.
Yeah.
It says he's in early talks. He's known for The Hours, Billy Elliot, and The Reader, which are apparently all nominated for Academy Awards for Best Director. So, I guess he's a good director.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any of those movies.
I mean, not very heavy on the action, but I mean, I guess you could argue that Billy Elliot, has some form of action in the form of dancing.
I don't know. I don't know what that movie's about.
Am I confusing? Isn't that the kid where it's like the boy who wants to dance and?
You're probably right.
I don't know. I've worked in a movie theater too long. All the movies blend together.
In movie is about the old man who wants to dance.
Yeah.
But he's stuck on a desert planet, and no dancing happens there.
Dude, okay.
The whole town's full of people with sticks up their butts.
See, okay, I like your version of the Obi-Wan movie so much better than mine, because I know it would change canon. But how cool would it be if they basically made a Star Wars apt pupil, where
trying to picture this in my head.
Okay, you remember apt pupil,
yeah, I
right?
like that movie. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. But you have because in apt pupil you have Ian McKellen. He's the retired Nazi.
Right.
I did air quotes, which I don't know why I did air quotes, because that's actually what he was.
Yeah,
he's in hiding.
Literally a retired Nazi.
Yeah. And then he's in hiding. I guess
retired in quotes because I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
just
know if
in
Nazis
hiding.
really retired. They just kind of had to stop doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Fortunately.
Yeah.
And then he starts training a young kid, and it's kind of you have this forcefully retired, religious extremist or government religious extremist and a Jedi who then, starts training this younger kid that his family doesn't want him to start doing this stuff,
Yeah, but this is some other kid besides Luke?
Well, that's why I said it would have to change canon. It's the first thing that came to mind.
No, it's totally fine. And then this other kid, something goes horribly wrong, and this kid has to die for some reason.
This kid's name is Snoke.
It's Snoke. Yeah. It's Starkiller. It's
Starkiller. Dude, how awesome would that be?
They're going to blend in the whole secret apprentice of Darth Vader story from the video games.
Dude, I would be so into that, actually.
He's turning him to the light side.
Yeah. Or even worse, he starts training this kid, and then he goes off and then realizes that he was Darth Vader's master, and then he's no, I'm gonna go be his disciple. And then Obi-Wan's maybe I should really just stop training these kids. And then that's his resolve to just wait in the desert until Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru get killed.
Yeah. So I don't want this to happen. Stop.
I want to see this.
I don't.
I want to see this more than the Jabba movie they're talking about.
Well, that's never. Why would that be a thing?
I think there's enough people that are fans
here. Okay.
Dude, I don't want that to be a thing. I don't care about Jabba. And to be fair, I don't really care too much about the Han Solo movie, and I love Han Solo.
Right.
But I don't.
Okay, wait. Please try to convince me. Okay, I have this in my head, question of why should I care about Obi-Wan outside of the original trilogy? I never understood why people cared. Why do people like him?
I don't have an argument for you. I just want more Jedis. Like that's literally why I'm excited for this.
We're not gonna get more Jedis. We're gonna get Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and he's gonna be a Jedi.
Not being a Jedi because
he'll be a Jedi.
He's gonna be in hiding.
He'll be like, he's just gonna go like knock on the door to the moisture farm. He's like, "Hey Owen, I know you don't want me around, but I'm still around. But I got to go off world for a little while and take care of some thing." And he's like, "Whatever, wizard." And then he goes off on some space adventure, and it's fun and awesome. And he has his lightsaber, but he leaves his blue lightsaber behind, and he takes the Qui-Gon Jinn lightsaber with him for some reason.
Oh yeah, I think maybe it's just gonna be a story about this like weird hermit old man who's just kind of like a creeper. He goes to like
he's like just like perving in like the windows of the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, he uses his force powers to like manipulate women and stuff like that. This is why they don't want him in the town anymore, and everybody says he's crazy.
I mean, sure. As long as I get to see him use his force powers, I guess.
Yeah, but he's just gonna be like lifting up women's skirts, and he's gonna be using the mind trick to make them undressed.
I think we're getting a real insight into what you would be like as a Jedi.
Look, mind control is a pretty amazing power, okay?
It is. It kind of gets into a gray area, morality-wise.
Yeah, well, so is, cutting people's arms off in a bar, right?
No, that's fine.
That's just okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Like, where is this movie going to take place? I don't know. Like, Ewan McGregor's gonna play this character. I imagine they can't have anybody else play it.
Okay. Well, yeah. Here's the one thing that I desperately hope they do in the movie, because I think it would be really awesome. Is like at some point in time in the movie, maybe like toward the end, let's say he's going up against like a dark side user and he has a lightsaber or somebody with a blaster or something. And, like, he gets a grazing shot, like, right across the forehead and just cuts that mole off his head to explain why... why he doesn't have the mole.
Yeah, as an old man.
Yeah, as an old man.
Can they explain why he's a totally different character as an old man? Because I don't feel like Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan is the same character as... what the hell is the actor's name?
Alec Guinness.
Alec Guinness Obi-Wan. Like, they don't feel like the same character at all. I know he's an older, wiser version of him, but like, they just don't feel like the same character.
No.
Like the only, what I would want? Okay, the only thing I would ever want with this movie, and this would have to be like a really weird place to put this, but like, and you can't really. Ewan McGregor's a little old, but if you were to do a story with him and Qui-Gon Jinn,
yeah,
okay, that would be really cool, and do his training and show, and please for once show to me why Obi-Wan beats everybody. Somehow he's the best Jedi fighter in the entire universe. Somehow, I don't know why, because the movie they never once explained to you why he's so goddamn good, why he beats Anakin, why he beats Darth Maul, why he beats General Grievous.
Like, well, I can explain that very easily. He's like a cardio nut, so like he's not the best fighter, but he has the endurance. Like he can just go for a while. So he just waits until the other guy is tired out. Because if you look at it, like Darth Maul, he spent that whole time fighting against like Qui-Gon Jinn, and they were getting like really into it and like jumping over stuff. If you remember half the fight, like Obi-Wan was getting like knocked off, like like the different levels and stuff, and he was basically taking a nap the whole time. And then he just comes in, and Darth Maul doesn't really have like any time to breathe, with the exception of the last time that ray shield was up, and
I don't know.
And then he's just totally winded.
I think I remember Obi-Wan running about a lot, huffing and puffing, trying to keep up, getting knocked about.
He wasn't huffing and puffing. He was just like, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna let you get yourself a little tuckered out, and then I'll just, slice you in half.
Qui-Gon was the cool, calm, collected guy. Like, he just sits there.
Yeah, he was a space hippie.
When that shield, that's such a great moment. When that's like one of my favorite moments in the entire prequel. Probably is my favorite moment.
When the ray shield closes and he just goes all zen.
Right. Qui-Gon goes all zen, and Darth Maul's got that pacing, like sort of anger, rage. Like, it's the perfect antithesis of the dark and light side shown right there.
Yeah, where like where you have like Darth Maul basically acting like a caged animal.
Yeah. But like also, but not totally out of control. Like, very in control of his rage, and it was perfect.
Yeah, no,
that
was
exactly what it should have been. Like probably the one perfect moment in that entire prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Speaking of prequels, this is another prequel.
Yeah.
What? Stop! Just stop. Have you not learned anything?
Okay. For the most part, Star Wars is, I think, still ahead on prequels or on sequels, right?
What do you mean?
They have six sequels and only 4 prequels.
Well, what are we considering sequels?
Everything, Empire Strikes Back and later.
That would mean there's only 3 sequels. Empire Strikes
4.
Back,
dude. Shut up.
Return of the Jedi,
okay, shut
and
up.
The Force Awakens.
Just because I don't know how to do math.
Whereas,
okay, yeah. So 3 okay, shut
one
up.
One original movie and 6 goddamn prequels. All right.
Okay, so I don't know how numbers work. All right, we need an editor for this stupid podcast.
Like, why? Like, I don't.
Okay, so
I just don't have any more interest in the in-betweens of all these movies anymore.
See, you say that, but dude, how great is Rebels?
Yeah, but Rebels, I mean, yes, it is a prequel.
Yeah.
But it's a series, which is different than a movie, and it follows characters that have never been in any of these stories.
True.
And yes, Rogue One is similar, but Rogue One, like, ham-fistedly put other characters in it and placed it in the timeline directly. Yeah. Whereas Rebels is during that timeline, but it's tangential to that timeline, and it has cameo appearances, yes, but they're fun,
Yeah,
the tone is totally different. I mean, it's hard to compare a movie and especially an animated TV series.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the only thing, or the main thing that I liked the most about Rogue One, beyond K2, which, I mean, you were kind of forced to like K2, was just that it was the one movie that brought together like all of the Star Wars properties. Brought together.
Yeah, bridged the timeline.
Yeah, because I mean, it brought together the Clone Wars, Rebels, the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy. All of those were all referenced in one movie.
Get ready for more.
I am ready for more.
Because Han Solo movie probably going to be in that same area, and this Obi-Wan movie is going to be in that same area.
Yeah.
And we can't have Darth Maul back because they already killed him in Rebels. Obi-Wan kills Darth Maul again.
Yeah.
Again, okay.
It's what he does.
When Darth Maul seemingly was even more powerful at that time.
Yeah.
God, I don't even get started again on how much I hated the way they just snuffed out Darth Maul pathetically.
I don't think it was pathetic. I think Darth Maul wanted to die at that point. No. I think he let
Nothing
himself.
Nothing about Darth Maul says I want to die.
Like, I think he was just tired. Like, I think he was defeated. Like, I think he was the kind of character where as long as he was alive, he was gonna fight. But if he...
I think Obi-Wan was defeated. And all he wants to do is just kill Sith whenever he can. He's like, why do I have to keep killing these damn Sith?
Or he's just a serial killer. And like Sith, like his thing is just killing Sith.
He's Dexter.
Yeah.
Oh God, man, I'm so disappointed with this. Just move on, man. Like, I love The Force Awakens, and I liked everything that was going on with all the new characters and the direction we're going in, and I just want more of that, or at least a side story in, do something after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But stop doing stuff before the original Star Wars. Just stop. There's no point at anymore. It's not stories that need to be told.
Yeah.
It's just not. Nobody. I mean, what about this Obi-Wan story is going to be compelling? I mean, what can really happen in the span of the storyline?
I mean, it does have the Rogue One problem where you already know some things about where it's gonna end. Like
Han Solo is the same way.
Yeah.
That's why I have no interest in these movies. Like, unfortunately, I'm gonna be forced to see these movies. This is what, Star Wars is doing to me now. Or they're forcing me to watch movies that I don't want to watch.
Yeah.
And I goddamn hope that they're actually good and I enjoy them.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'm not gonna see these movies.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like,
how it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing that you're making a Star Wars fan watch stories that he doesn't want to watch.
But they could be good. We don't know.
They could be. You're right. They could be. But you're giving us too much at this point of things that I really don't think anybody's really asking for. I know some people say that was the one. If they wanted a prequel, they wanted an Obi-Wan story.
Yeah.
Great. But that's sort of like, if they wanted it. But I don't think most people really did want that. I don't think this was something like, do more prequels. Like, it's more like, I guess we have to.
I don't know.
Do the Yoda story. Like, no, don't do the Yoda story. That comes next.
I think the whole thing with the prequels is it's easier to do because they don't want to tie up the future of the franchise, which I can understand.
I guess. But then that's fine. Do the after Return of the Jedi. Got a lot of time in between.
Yeah. Show a young Poe Dameron.
Yeah, or go further and do a long time ago. Like Knights of the Republic age.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about like further in the future.
Right. Or even if you want to do Yoda, which I don't really want, but if you were gonna do that, I would be interested in it if it was like young Yoda, right? Because Yoda's like 800 years old.
Well, that's why I think we talked
like 50-year-old Yoda, or 100-year-old Yoda.
I think we talked about this
probably
like in the past, like where ideally I'd want to see, like you said, like a 40 to 50-year-old Yoda. So like he's still like relatively young, but he's been Jediing for a while. Like he's already in the rhythm of it, but the Jedi are in their prime.
Yeah, and I would hope if that was the case, he'd be a very fun character. Because I'd like to see like that personality we saw of him when he was pretending to be the weird some weird creature on a planet with Luke. Like that's part of his personality. He is a little bit of a jokester. You saw it a little with the younglings and Attack of the Clones. A little. Dude, just let him have it. But I would agree. I'd agree. That's what I'd rather see. But I do. One of the other reasons why I'd like to see an Obi-Wan movie is like I want to have the opportunity to see an Obi-Wan movie without them recasting it a third time or a second time. Yeah, that's
like a
nice
third actor.
that they can still do that.
Yeah. So I mean that's what I would like. But also I would want to hope that they're going to make sure that it's going to be a good story. Because I mean, I'm sure, like I know nobody ever like goes out of their way to make a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right, I was just had a posing question here, and I don't know if I have an answer for it. Maybe you have one off the top of your head, but can you name a character that has been recast in a prequel, as a younger version that you've liked better than the original?
Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan.
I mean, I didn't like him better. So I think Alec Guinness is.
Yeah, I mean, like that was kind of a jokey answer because I liked him like as much. I just viewed it as just a different aspect of the character, so I never really like weighed the two against each other. And
we probably won't have an answer, but I mean, if anybody listening wants to come up with one,
well, that's the thing.
Give us a shout out on that, because I can't think of a situation where this works out well.
Well, I mean, it's a very short list of people that have been recast as younger versions,
right? Because
I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to debate Hayden Christensen versus I'm blanking. Daniel Prowse, like
who knows? But whoever, it doesn't matter in that character. But
yeah,
but that's not one. I mean, nobody likes Hayden Christensen's Anakin.
I think I didn't like it, or I didn't love it, but I think it's exactly who that character would have been.
I mean, if we can count Tom Holland to Spider-Man, but I mean,
I thought you were just talking strictly.
Right, I'm not.
I thought you were talking strictly Star Wars.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about Star Wars only. I'm talking about in general, anywhere.
Oh, well, you said prequels,
in any casting of any sort. I just. And I don't know if that I really want to count like a reboot, type situation, but it's just hard to think.
James McAvoy is Professor X.
He's good.
It's not. I don't know if it's better, but
but Ian McKellen, not Ian McKellen. Sorry.
No.
Patrick Stewart is so great.
No, but you hit the nail on the head. What's his name?
Oh yeah.
Young Magneto. Why am I blanking on his name?
Yeah.
Infinitely better than.
Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender. I love his Magneto.
Ian McKellen?
Yeah. I think it's so much. I think it's so much more layered and interesting, and what he does with the character.
Those are great examples of it being really done really well.
Yeah.
But you see, when I look at those, I see them as equal. Like they did a great
Patrick
job.
Stewart, I would say, is equal. I think he edges out Ian McKellen, and I really like Ian McKellen as Magneto.
Okay. That's a good example.
Yeah.
But
so I win. Thank you.
You win. You win this round.
Yeah.
Okay.
I finally won one, guys.
But we all lose in the end.
We do, yeah.
Because we get the Obi-Wan movie.
Dude, it could be awesome.
You're right.
I look forward to seeing that movie and reviewing it on this podcast. In
2021.
Yeah.
Right.
Our finally well-reviewed, well-listened podcast where you'll be like, yeah, Brian, you were right. That was the best movie I've ever seen.
When do we think this is happening? We got this year, episode 8, and then next year it'll be Han Solo. And then the next year
is episode 9, so it'd be the year
2020.
So 2020, yeah.
All right, 2020. Yeah, maybe this podcast can still be around in 2020.
Yeah,
we got a shot.
Yeah,
it's not really hurting us at the moment.
No.
All right, let's get out of this.
Yeah.
I can't take it anymore.
Let's try and find something that's fun to talk about. Something that's not inflammatory.
All right. Some casting stuff.
All right.
We got Ed Skrein.
Yeah.
However you want to say that.
Francis.
Yeah, Francis from Deadpool.
Yeah.
He has been cast in the Hellboy reboot. He's playing a character named Major Ben Daimo.
Yeah.
Who is a member of the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense.
Yep.
And interestingly, he is apparently in the comics at a point possessed by a jaguar spirit.
Yeah. That
can take control of his body, and I guess he becomes some sort of jaguar-like
creature.
Human-ish creature.
Yeah.
Which, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I like to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited for that. I think I liked him as a bad guy, so I'm looking forward to seeing him as not a bad guy.
Yeah, he was fine in Deadpool. I mean, you didn't have a lot to do, but it was fine.
Yeah, he was a good foil, for the Deadpool character. Mm-hmm. Again, I think I've been saying it every week now. Every time I hear something new about this Deadpool, this Hellboy movie, I get more excited for it. It seems like they're making a whole lot of good choices with it.
It's shaping up pretty damn well.
Yeah, because it sounds.
I'm starting to get very excited for this.
Yeah, because everything they're doing, they're like, okay, we're gonna show respect to the movies that came before, but we're gonna make this its own animal, and it's gonna be, a thing.
They're digging very deep into the lore for all these different characters.
Yeah, they're not just going okay, so we need Liz Sherman, Abe Sapien, Professor Broom, Roger. That's it.
Do they even? I wonder if Abe Sapien's even going to be in this.
I would hope so, because he is a pretty big character in the BPRD.
Yeah.
But
I mean, maybe they save him for a sequel, introducing him later.
Yeah, I mean that'd be cool. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to this ending with them actually finding Abe Sapien in his tank.
Mm-hmm. There was another casting. On this.
I just gotta wake up my
telephone.
Was for a character named Alice Monaghan. Sasha Lane is going to be playing her. She's going to be the love interest of Hellboy. Another character from the comics who I don't remember reading her in any of the later stuff where she was an adult, but her first appearance she was as an infant who was abducted by fairies, and Hellboy was tasked with finding her and like defeating the fairies, and he brought her back, and then I guess she grew and like came back later in his life, and romance started between the two of them, which I think is a really cool story.
So it's like True Blood, right?
Sure. I watched like the first episode.
Oh, you didn't get to the fairies. Oh, okay.
No. Were they in the first episode?
No.
Yeah.
No, but there's fairies in it.
Sure, why not? I mean, there's also like jaguar people in there, right?
Yeah.
Don't they have like Were Everything?
Were Jaguar thing
Were
happens?
Panther?
Were Panther. Yeah, there's Were Panther.
My favorite like 80s glam rock band, Were Panther.
Were Panther. All right. So yeah, this is good stuff. You know, we're excited.
Yeah. No, I'm getting more and more excited, you know, by the day, because that seems like how the news for this is coming out. Mm-hmm. The only problem is they're really setting me up for a huge letdown.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to be excited about something upcoming.
Yeah.
Here, with all this naysaying and I've had so far today in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice that we finally hit a positive point.
Yeah. So let's go back to something not so positive in my eyes. I don't know what you think about this. Also, a casting thing.
Okay.
I will start this by asking you a question, Brian.
All right. Okay.
Is James Bond a superhero?
No.
Then let's not talk about this story.
Okay.
No, he is a superhero.
Okay, no.
He fits into the
Do not. Okay, no, you cannot compare him
podcast, okay?
Sure. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I like.
Can I compare him to, Brian?
I was gonna say you can't compare him to Batman because he doesn't give himself the gadgets and like all whatever.
He's Batman, okay.
Shut up.
He's Dark Knight Batman, where he doesn't make his own gadgets.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Whatever. I don't know. Like, I mean, I like James Bond just fine. I don't necessarily care.
Yeah, neither do I that much.
Yeah.
But the news is that Daniel Craig is officially back for one more go at James Bond.
Yay.
Yeah.
Which isn't it like every other year where he's like, no, I'm out. And then they're like, hey, do you like money?
Yeah, he distinctly said like he'd rather slit his wrists than play this character.
Because then I think he recanted that and was like, no, I was just messing around with the interviewer.
Oh, sure.
Which I have a feeling that it was like, I don't know, like Eon Productions or whoever it is that does the James Bond movies, like the Broccoli family. Such a ridiculous name.
Broccoli family.
Yeah, Cubby Broccoli was the name of the guy who ran the James Bond empire for the longest time. There's a great, I think it was maybe like a Letterman. It's either like Carson or Letterman maybe, interview with Sean Connery, who like famously hated like the production of the James Bond movies, where they asked him like, oh, who would you say is the greatest James Bond villain? And he goes, Cubby Broccoli. And I was like, that's actually a really great line.
But yeah, I mean, James Bond, he's supposed to be a more fun character, and the reason that this news to me is bad because like I don't like this James Bond. He's the thuggish James Bond. He's Jason Bourne version of this character.
Which I think this is actually a lot closer to how he is in the books.
But I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I care about the character that we all grew to know and love through the movies over many, many years.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Who was your James Bond? Like, when you say James Bond, who comes to mind?
Probably Sean Connery.
Yeah, same with me. But, like, Pierce Brosnan is probably the one who I've seen, like, all of the movies of.
Yeah. I like Brosnan in a couple of his movies. And he doesn't have a lot of good movies. Of course, GoldenEye is obviously a good one.
Honestly, I don't think I've seen GoldenEye all the way through, but I played the crap out of that N64 game.
Well, yeah.
Arguably the best N64 game.
Roger Moore is pretty good, too.
Yeah.
I like Roger Moore. Yeah, I distinctly remember once when I was young, as I got the flu. Mm-hmm. I like really seriously sick with the flu. And there was like a James Bond marathon going on.
Probably on TBS.
Week. Yeah, and I just watched the hell out of all these James Bond movies, and I loved it. It was great, and the movies, like the gadgets and all the weird stuff that happens, like the weird villains, like that's great. That's good stuff. And this doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And basically now, like Kingsman is essentially the replacement for James Bond.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because this whatever this is doesn't really qualify for me.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to end. And apparently Daniel Craig likes that money, and the studio also likes that money, and they're just gonna keep driving that truck off the cliff. Just gonna let it burn. And because I don't know, I think some people like these movies, but I don't feel like there's a big fervor for these movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I know like one of my friends, he was a huge James Bond fan. Like he's seen all the movies, read all the books, loved them, and like as soon as like Casino Royale came out, he's like, this Daniel Craig is the best James Bond. He's and
a lot of people felt that way, and I think that's what has propelled this iteration, even to this point, because the Casino Royale movie is actually a really good movie.
Yeah,
but everything after that, I think, has been inferior, and to the point where I don't even care. I don't watch them anymore.
Yeah.
So, I watched Quantum of Solace, I think it was.
Yeah, that was the second.
Yeah, which is a totally pointless, not even a good movie.
I don't remember it.
And then Skyfall was one after that, I believe.
Yeah. And then wasn't there another one?
There's another one.
Spectre.
I didn't bother to see that.
No.
Because I didn't like Skyfall. I feel like that was well received, but did not like that movie.
Well, I think Skyfall did one thing that I always hoped that they wouldn't do, and that's they made that person actually James Bond. Like, I was one of the people that always subscribed to the fan theory that James Bond was a title that you got. Right. It was the code name that you got when you got 007. So whoever filled that spot of 007 was called James Bond. That was your code name. And then you had another identity, and then you retire or die, and somebody else takes that. And, and that explains why you have, apparently all in the same continuity, all of these different people with different faces.
Yeah. And then
they, in Skyfall, which was the ancestral home of the Bond family, they said, oh no, all of that's canon, it's all the same guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't buy it, because then there was always like the talk of like Idris Elba, being James Bond, who I love Idris Elba, and he would have been a great choice, but I'll never buy that he is the same guy as Sean Connery.
Well, yeah, and I don't think that they should try to do that.
No, I think they should go the route of making James Bond a codename.
Yeah. It's annoying that there isn't other agents, really.
Yeah.
You only GoldenEye was like, as far as I can remember. And,
didn't they have like 005 or something in the very beginning?
I think he was it 006? He was the main villain of the movie.
Yeah.
It was Ned Stark.
Is that a Game of Thrones thing?
Yeah, Sean Bean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Sean Bean.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I didn't like how they gave him a tragic backstory or some whatever it was. I don't care. Like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
That's not what James Bond's about. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Move on. Just like us.
Speaking of moving on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Did you have any other? I think you might have. Did have another casting stuff before I move on to some other stuff?
Yeah. The only other like casting thing that I had was for The Flash, Katie Sackhoff.
Oh, right, yeah.
She's joining the cast. She's going to be playing a character called Amulet Black, or the Blacksmith. And basically she's running a black market for supervillains, where she's like supplying like metahumans and creating like a whole network there. I know it's a character from the comics. I'm not familiar with it, but
that should be fun.
Yeah, and like getting a name like Katie Sackhoff, I kind of have a feeling that she's not just going to be a one episode in and out, which is cool because I really enjoyed her on Battlestar Galactica. I thought she was great as Starbuck.
What is she doing now?
I think she just got hired to work on The Flash.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all she's doing.
That's all she's doing.
It's funny because when I first read that story, in my head, I first thought, oh, the movie. She's gonna be in the movie. I'm like, all right, I could see her. Like they tried to put her in movies, like give it a shot. But then I read further, and it's TV, and I'm like, yeah, she is a TV actress, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh well.
I mean, I don't care, like, because I enjoy her, so I'm happy to see that she's showing up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Well, not the biggest story, but
no, but it's something.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. Because unlike you, I still really, really enjoy The Flash.
I still enjoy it too. I just have
I
have problems.
Yeah.
I've got issues.
It's going to become your next era where you're like, whatever, I'm just watching it to get through it for the crossovers.
No, I enjoyed a lot of last season.
Yeah, no.
There was just some stuff at the end that got real rough.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've covered, the issues, which you can all go back and re-listen to, because we know you didn't the first time.
It's fun, you know. I get angry and I question everything. I don't know how angry I get. Maybe a little.
You can listen to our echo.
Yeah, I poke holes in like all of it.
Oh yeah,
everything.
Look, they're not as good writers as we are.
It's so much fun. Okay, we got a non-casting story.
Finally.
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, you mean the opposite of casting?
Yeah. See, it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Will not appear in Avengers 3, 4, or Black Panther.
Yeah.
To his surprise, apparently, he's like, well, they didn't, it's like they're filming Avengers 4 now, and like, I'm not in either of those, so.
It's like, well, I didn't do anything for Avengers 3, which, I mean, that is surprising, though.
A little bit.
I mean, because, I mean, he's the guy who got it all going. Like, you think he would be there.
Yeah, but if you think about where he is in the story, I mean, writing him into the plot requires you to explain what he's been doing.
Yeah.
And this is what I was thinking about when I read this, was when I look at where his role in Avengers 2 and how kind of insignificant and like Deus Ex Machina type situation he was.
Yeah.
Do I care? Do I need that?
Yes, you do.
I do.
Yeah. You probably didn't realize it, but you do.
Oh, okay. Captain Marvel needs it, apparently, because he's in there.
I mean, that makes sense, though.
Because, it's a time period thing, so it makes sense. It's in the 80s.
90s, I thought.
90s?
90s, yeah.
It's in the 90s?
Yeah, it's the 90s.
Oh. Okay.
You're confusing it with the super awesome Joker movie that's going to be the 80s.
I thought they might cross over that, but no, they can't.
Yeah, no. I mean, they could, but completely opposite decades. Come on, Carl.
So, am I really going to miss him? Not particularly, because as well as I do like Sam Jackson, he is always pretty much Sam Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, he's very much like that kind of actor who you hire him to play that role.
And he very much kind of sticks out. Mm-hmm. And like the scene where he's in Avengers 2 and even in Iron Man 2, like he didn't belong in those movies, really. Yeah. And they just kind of felt like they needed to put him in. They wrote him in, and that's fine. If they didn't write a place for him, then he's not in it. And I'm sure Sam Jackson will understand. And he'll come back. I mean, he's in Captain Marvel, so like he'll be in it when they need him. Yeah. What does Nick Fury do anyway at this point?
Look at things from only one side. Yeah.
He's got a gun, I guess. He might shoot somebody. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not opposed to him being there, but I mean, you have a point. Like that, and also with those movies, maybe not so much with Black Panther, but with the two Avengers movies, there's so much they're going to need to balance that they don't need any more characters. Yeah. Even though I would love for them just put Coulson back in there for one, because come on, just let the Avengers know he's back.
Yeah, do a Marvel one shot then on the DVD or something. Yeah, why'd they stop doing that?
I thought they said they were going to start doing it again.
Yeah, I enjoyed those.
Yeah, those are fun. Yeah. Like, I think my favorite one is what is it? All Hail the King.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where you find out that the Sam Mandarins
Rockwell character.
No, he Ben Kingsley.
Wasn't he in that one?
Was he? It's the one in the prison where like the Mandarin goes and attacks.
Yeah. But isn't Sam Rockwell in the prison there too with him? What's his name? Justin Hammer.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's also in the prison, yeah.
That's right. It's been a while since I've seen it. I should rewatch that. But yeah, like, because now you know that the Mandarin is actually a thing, and like it's, it's not just a thing that was made up by AIM.
Yeah, and they did that for the fans. I don't think they ever have any intention of going anywhere with it.
But I think, no.
But it would be nice.
Dude, this would have been such an awesome segue. But I don't think we're going there yet. Damn.
Why not?
Because I was going to say, it would be great to have the Mandarin and the 10 rings tie into the origin of the hand in the Defenders.
Oh, and speaking of the Defenders, we watched. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
yet. Sorry.
Like I said, dude, how great would that segue have been?
That'd have been okay.
Shut up.
Like, you keep ruining all the good segues. Okay?
I don't.
I'm not letting you get away with a good one.
Okay, for the record, a little behind the scenes, I can't see Carl's screen. We're working off 2 separate screens, so I don't necessarily know what the next topic is.
I'm trying to make this genuine, okay?
I don't think anybody is questioning how genuine this podcast is.
All right, so let's go to Shazam. That's a good one, right?
Yeah, why not?
It's a thing that's happening.
Yep.
We're jumping all over the place today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the director for Shazam, some guy named David Sandberg. I forgot who he was already.
Yeah.
I forgot there was a director for that.
The younger brother of Mr.
I probably talked some crap about it. Oh, is he the horror guy? He did some horror movie, right?
Oh, yeah,
I think that's the guy.
Yeah, the Spelunking movie, right?
Spelunky?
Spelunking? The cave diving one?
Yeah. I thought it was Spelunky, the video game.
Spelunky?
There's a video game called Spelunky.
No.
It's apparently a good one.
I never played it.
I actually did play it. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's one of those procedurally generated type of things.
Oh, okay.
But let's talk about the story. This guy directing Shazam, he said that the script is completed and production will begin soon. Which by production, I imagine they mean like
hire
casting?
Somebody to play Shazam.
Right. Because we have no one cast for this. We have actually 0 casting for this movie.
Because the one person who had cast is no longer in the movie.
Right. And he mentioned something about that, saying that before he came into it, there was a version of the script that included Black Adam.
Yeah.
But it's been since split into 2 movies now.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. I guess what they were gonna do the dual origin story type situation, which by the way is kind of awesome, and I like. It worked really well for Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's something you should just say let's not do.
Yeah.
I don't know who your villain's gonna be now, and I don't know why Black Adam deserves a whole movie to his own, but maybe they know better than I do.
Well, I think a big part of it has to do with the casting of The Rock and having him basically just be able to do whatever he feels like in Hollywood.
I don't know. See, I feel like Dwayne Johnson isn't the type of guy who's going around saying, like, I need this and I need that. I feel it's more like the studio being like, this guy brings people into the seats, so let's just put him in everything. Yeah,
you have a point. Like, Dwayne Johnson, he seems like just a nice dude.
Yeah, he does.
He's one of those people where, like, when he first started acting, I wanted to hate him because I was never a wrestling fan. I was like, look at this douche. And I'm like, he just seems like such a nice guy.
We all grew to love him.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh yeah, he's like a buff Tom Hanks. Like he just.
Well, I don't know about that one.
Well, I just mean like he just seems like a very genuinely like likable person.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying he's as good of an actor as Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is a dick, and I base that on nothing.
I'm trying to think like. I don't know if Tom Hanks has ever done anything to like elicit that.
I think he's such a good actor that we all love him so much, but he's actually a total douche.
Yeah. I mean, he could be.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah. Turns out like he's like one day he passes on and he just has like all these manifestos just like I'm not going to continue with that.
Yeah. Let's not slander Tom Hanks. No. We like the guy.
Yeah. Dude, Big is still one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, Big was a good one.
Big's like that movie that you just love because you watched it when you were 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great movie, in its own right, but it's one of those movies where like it's good if you watch it as an adult, but it's amazing if you watch it first when you're 10.
Like Short Circuit.
Yeah.
The Goonies.
Yeah.
Those type of movies,
for
sure. All right. This is.
Yeah.
Hopefully this goes in a good direction. I have no idea. I'm interested in Shazam. I want to see this character.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see Little Boy Superman.
Yeah. Why not? We don't have a proper Superman on film, so
yeah.
Let's try it. Let's try again.
Yeah. Could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. So Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That's a guy that some people still like.
Sure. I mean, I'm not really one of them, but
I might be one of them. I don't know, after that Mummy movie. I'm a bit down on the guy.
Yeah.
But he's really good in the Mission Impossible series, which...
Okay, wait, really quick. Why is it that you're like, okay, do you count James Bond as a superhero? And I'm like, no. He's like, we're not going to talk about it. But then you're like, Tom Cruise, clearly not a superhero.
No. In real life, yes.
In his mind, sure.
He's a real life superhero because he does all his own stunts.
I mean, he does.
Okay.
Like, I'll give him all the credit in the world for doing that.
And he just broke his ankle doing one.
Oh, yeah, the thing we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is such a natural conversation we're having here. Working really well.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, he broke his ankle filming Mission Impossible 6. And now this isn't a superhero story. I will grant you that Mission Impossible is not a superhero story.
No.
Even though he does incredible things, I would not consider him a superhero.
No.
But production is halted. And it just makes me laugh at the whole idea that Superman actor
Henry
Cavill is he still locked up in the mustache gate?
Okay. Have you seen him with this mustache? Because I haven't. Is this like one of those like giant like Fu Manchu like biker mustaches that's going to take like 4 months to grow?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I saw it. I think it'll just look like a thick mustache.
So just give him a couple weeks off, let him shave it off, film for a couple days for Justice League, and grow it back.
But this is why I want to talk about this, because I think it's funny, because now the production is halted on Mission Impossible, like, did they go like, all right, quick, shave your mustache now and film these scenes now, go, and so he can grow it back when the movie resumes filming? Or does, I forgot what production is it, Paramount maybe, who does Mission Impossible?
I think so.
Do they stick to their guns and just be dicks and like, no, you cannot have him with his shaved mustache. We will not allow it. It's in his contract. You can't do it.
I could see him doing it, but like, aren't the reshoots for Justice League almost over anway, or already done? Like,
I have no idea. They're going to be reshooting up until the day it comes out, right?
Probably.
The after credit scene will be
it's going to be like an iPhone.
Be something they shot the day before.
Yeah. It's just Joss Whedon with his iPhone, like, okay guys, we just got to get this one shot. They're not even in costume. They're just wearing like, a Flash t-shirt and Batman t-shirt, and like,
all it's going to be is them all standing there together. Like,
they're just going to be eating shawarma.
No, they're all in the studio eating shawarma, and they're like, look, we do this stuff too.
Yeah. Come on, just like us. We want Marvel money.
They're getting that money already.
Yeah, they are.
Undeservedly so, but they're there.
Yeah.
They're riding on Marvel's coattails right now.
Yeah. No idea why or how. Well, I know why, but I have no idea how.
Mm-hmm. That's the popularity of those characters.
For some reason. And yet you still have Grant Gustin scraping this loose change out of his couch for Lunchables every day.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not, but I mean...
Okay, maybe he eats Hungry Man.
Hungry Man, yeah.
Dinners, okay.
Ramen.
He stepped it up.
Yeah.
Well, ramen's kind of a step down.
Taste-wise, maybe. or like, price-wise, maybe. Taste-wise. I don't know, I love ramen.
Okay. We got... Okay, one last story, and then we'll talk about the Defenders.
Okay.
I'm going to move this on. Move this on quick.
Yeah.
All right, in a Q&A session on Facebook, James Gunn talked about Nova, a character, possibly being in the movies. And it's a quote. He said, yes, definitely. Nova comes up.
Well, specifically, the Richard Rider Nova.
Yes,
because they've already had a whole bunch of Nova.
Right, yes. Yeah. He said, Nova comes up occasionally as someone we might use. One of the things I'm doing with creating Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, it will take place after the next 2 Avengers movies and will help set up the next 10 to 20 years of Marvel movies, which that sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to really expand the cosmic universe. We're going to be setting up new characters. It'll be the last movie of this version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So actually that says a lot more than just about this Nova character.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of exciting stuff in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean James Gunn has done a great job building that universe, and I want his vision to be a part of that future, and this is what they're saying here, so that's great.
Yeah. And the thing that excites me the most about it, and I've said this like a few times, is this is just one step closer to actually getting like a Nova movie, which, like, as far as I'm concerned, from everything that I've seen, it's going to be the closest thing to getting like a good Green Lantern movie.
Yeah. I want that Ravagers movie.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly, I look at this Guardians of the Galaxy right now as possibly like the new Star Wars in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because if they keep building this cosmic universe like they're saying, they're gonna have an original trilogy. They're gonna have a prequel, right? With the Ravagers possibly. They're gonna have a side story spin-off with Nova. If he not introduced in the stories, maybe he'll come up in the third movie.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe one of those characters gets a prequel movie. You know, we got the Drax movie or the Gamora movie.
I would watch both of those movies.
Yes.
Dude, like they have interest. Like I wouldn't necessarily be interested in like a Rocket and Groot movie, like a prequel. But I mean, like Gamora, yeah. Like,
and Drax. I mean, I specifically named probably the two that would have the best stories to go off of.
Yeah, like I think they had, even Star-Lord I wouldn't be necessarily as interested in as, like a Gamora movie.
Right.
Because she has the whole, she has like such a rich backstory that's only hinted at.
So if I was trying to mirror Star Wars, then I should have chose Star-Lord because he's like the Han Solo, and I guess I don't know who's like the Obi-Wan. Yondu.
Yondu, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. And I wouldn't really want a Yondu solo movie. I want the Ravagers movie.
Yeah, no, that's what I want to see. I want to see, that group of the Ravagers with Yondu.
Yeah, and there's a ton
the
of
original Guardians of the Galaxy
cosmic characters. And I hope they can get, maybe one day Silver Surfer in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if Galactus would ever be in play.
I mean, that's going to be a lot of arm wrestling with Fox.
Yeah, I feel like that one's a possibility at this point because I feel like they've been able to negotiate a little bit with some of that stuff, and I doubt they'll ever use Galactus again in Fantastic Four of any sort with Fox.
Yeah, I don't know because I
can't see them, even if they wanted to. I don't think they could pull off the giant space guy.
No, they would probably have to. Probably the best way to do it, if you just surround him in clouds with a vague form of Galactus's helmet, maybe that's probably the strongest way to do it. That would probably make the most sense.
Yeah, kind of like in that first Ang Lee Hunk movie, or maybe even the Green Lantern movie.
Yeah,
those did a really great job with that.
Hey, at least there was no shiny skybeam.
True that.
Yeah. Which was only done well once. Name the movie, Carl.
Giant skybeam done well.
Only done once. 1984.
Did Stargate have one of those?
Could have, but actually, I think they did have one in Stargate, but no, right? No, 1984.
1984. I don't know.
Ghostbusters.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
I actually can't think of a giant skybeam before Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Everybody's just been aping it.
Yeah.
Ever since. They're like, oh yeah, that perfect movie, let's just steal elements from it.
Yeah, we must do that.
Yeah.
It is probably a perfect movie in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Like it literally has a perfect balance between like relationship, character development, comedy, drama, horror, sci-fi. Like there's just enough of everything in a perfect balance where like the movie just flies by. You're completely entertained. I don't know anybody who has seen it that hasn't enjoyed it. I mean, it literally, like, even after all these years later, like, it still holds up.
Maybe one day we'll get something else good out of that property.
Yeah,
still waiting.
Someday.
All right, so let's talk about the Defenders, all right?
Can we go back to my super awesome segue?
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's just pretend.
I forgot what it was.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, the Defenders was lame.
It was
underwhelming.
It was honestly disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't bad by any means.
I guess we're not going to do spoilers, right? And then maybe we'll do spoilers later.
Yeah.
We'll talk spoilers at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Because there's a few things that I'd like to mention, talk about.
Would you like to mention how Danny Rand every 5 minutes apparently contractually has to say he's the Iron Fist, and somebody has to be confused as to what that means?
I don't know. I kind of found it amusing.
It was funny
because I like people's reaction to like what?
You're the
what
what
do you
now?
mean? What are you talking? A dragon? What about a dragon? Like, he mentions the dragon story a couple times.
Yeah, which did have a payoff, which I like that. Spoilers. But, yeah, no, I mean, it was good. Like, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's all about the character interactions that we really enjoy, because if you've watched all the shows, you like all these characters, and even all the side characters, and watching them play off of each other is really great. It's just... And
I thought they did a really good job at balancing all of those, including the side characters, having the side characters together with all the main characters, and the villains, kind of bringing all of them together and answering a lot of that. Thought like it was well done, but I thought it was so much more of the same that we've already seen so many times.
Yeah, because we got the Hand again. How many times can we have the Hand as the villains? And
which I get why they were doing that, because they were building this whole thing, and then it kind of culminated with this.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like they actually didn't have any idea or plan for this show at all.
Yeah, probably.
And because that's the way it plays out. Because it seems like they had the most basic idea of like, all right, it's gonna be something with the Hand, and something with these little things that we put into Daredevil that we never really explained.
Yeah.
But then when we get to it, it really doesn't like tie up all the loose ends. It makes things some very kind of confusing. Like, I don't really understand what the Black Sky is really supposed to be at this point.
Yeah.
The Hand seems to be less intimidating at this point.
Well, because now it's only a couple of fingers.
I guess, but they don't seem to be as influential, as all-encompassing. In Daredevil at times it was like, oh, damn, all these hand ninjas are here, and they're killing people, and they're all highly trained, and they're kind of tough to fight, and it doesn't seem like that's the case anymore.
Yeah.
They seem to become more of cannon fodder type at this point. Now you had
they were more of the Foot Clan than the Hand.
Yeah, right. And then you had your hand, the fingers of the Hand characters, and they were all, adequately powerful enough.
Yeah, and I liked I liked how they handled all of them.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, there's that one guy the one who speaks Japanese all the time.
Yeah.
Who I guess he just made him up for this one.
Yeah.
They had to have another one, obviously.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we need 5. Get that guy.
And of course Sigourney Weaver's new.
Yeah.
And I liked her up until... Actually, it wasn't I didn't like her at all. I actually enjoyed her. It's just where she goes and what happens to her at a certain point. I'm like, okay, that's it? Like, all right.
Yeah. Which I think that was for shock value.
Yeah.
How long do you want to go without spoilers?
No, we're going a little bit long here, okay? Things we liked. Like, as far as... Let's talk about the action.
Yeah, the action, I think, was a step up from what we saw in Iron Fist.
Yeah. It definitely was an improvement.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't also say that it was incredible.
No.
There were some good moments or some cool action sequences.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like the last episode is probably what leaves this show on a very sour, disappointing note, because it doesn't culminate into anything great. And even the action sequence in that isn't really that great. They do that kind of like, they try to do that kind of Avengers thing where it was tracking around, watching them all doing stuff, but it ended up seeming like it had to circle more than once.
Yeah,
it's like there's cool stuff happening. We swear, if we keep going around, you'll catch it.
You'll eventually get to the cool thing.
You'll catch that awesome punch somewhere.
The one thing that it was one of the first things that I noticed through, I think it was the first episode, that I really, really liked, and I think I texted you about it, just being vague because I know you hadn't started watching at that point, was visually, each time each character, each hero was on their own, they had the color palette, like the color tone of the individual show. So, like Luke Cage had like the sepia yellow color, and Iron Fist had kind of like the muted green, and Jessica Jones had like that violet color. Their color palette, it was very much, like visually separating each of their worlds until they came together. And then at that point, they had, there was one set visual style for the rest of the show, which I thought was really well handled. Like that, I was really impressed with. I'm like, okay, that got me excited for it, for watching the show more than I was. Because I'm like, okay, this shows that like thought went into it, and they were trying to put effort into it and make it not be what all the other shows was. And then I was like, oh no, it is. It is what the other shows was. So I'll enjoy it, but it's not going to blow me away. And like I kind of just like zoned out for like until maybe like the third or fourth episode when they all came together.
Yeah.
And that's when I got back into it. But I'll be honest, I might need to rewatch this because at one point I just had it on while I was doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was like painting and I'm like it's on, and I'm I'll stop painting and watch, while I'm waiting for like the watercolor to dry or whatever, and I'm just watching the the cool action scenes or the character bits, because a lot of the stuff that I found the most interesting in the show was stuff that I could just listen to.
Yeah.
The interaction between the characters. It wasn't like I didn't really care too much about the physical stuff. I just liked, the banter and like how they handled each other.
Yeah. I mean, this definitely reinforces the fact that Daredevil and Jessica Jones are by far the best characters they have.
Yeah.
And I just want to see more of them.
Yeah, which fortunately I think those are the next two shows we're getting.
Yeah, and honestly, like Iron Fist, I think he had a better showing in this version.
Yeah.
And Luke
Cage,
he
actually used the Iron Fist.
Yeah. Luke Cage, I didn't actually like him really much in this at all. He was kind of annoying. I'm just like, stop being like the super goody two shoes all the time. Like,
yeah,
it's just getting annoying. It just, and also the sort of at a certain point, it felt a little ridiculous that they're kind of having to adhere to society rules and the police and everything. I'm like, yeah, this is realistic. It makes sense, but like. This is also why we don't do this in these shows.
Yeah. Because, they are all, like, street-level heroes with, and with the exception of Matt Murdock, none of them wear masks. Like, right. They're all known, especially Danny Rand, who, millionaire. Yeah, right. So that does make complete sense that they would have to, like, work within the law, and I liked that, kind of a gray area was extended around them for some stuff. Like, and it's not a spoiler, but like I think it was like the last episode, there's a scene where like they're about to go do something and Misty Knight's like, the police are on their way. I need to know one thing. And it's like such a cheesy line, but she's like, how long do you need me to stall him? I'm like, how about you just call him off?
Yeah. Right.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, it just shows that like, they have to follow the law to a point, and then like exceptions can be made.
Yeah, I felt like they jumped through a lot of hoops to make that plausible. And like while they did succeed, it also was kind of taxing on the show and the plot.
I think it could have been done in 6 episodes.
Yeah. It felt like a very long movie.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, the plot isn't very interesting. The main villain, what they're going after when you find out what it is, you're like, that's it. All right, I guess.
Yeah.
Fine.
But I want this to be the end of that story. I want something else now.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
I hope, but...
I mean, they left a little bit out possibility, but it's probably...
Yeah.
All right, let's spoil this. Let's spoil the crap out of this.
Okay, so Daredevil dies. No. Should've.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead. Okay, no.
All right, let's talk
Misty Knight loses her arm.
Yeah. And actually, that was handled pretty well.
Yeah, that was really great. Yeah. I expected it, but I was still surprised when it happened. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about like the most pointless like spoiler, but
yeah, right.
But it's like such a cool thing, because now she's gonna get her bionic arm, and like that's awesome.
And to be honest, like I actually really I like Colleen Wing's character a lot. I actually thought her.
I liked her a lot in this, even more so than in Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Like, I think she was much better developed.
Actually, one thing I just wanted to say before we go too deep into it was comparing this to Iron Fist. I would almost recommend Iron Fist over this.
Yeah.
Because while Iron Fist really suffers in a lot of points with action and sort of drawing out the plot, there's good characters in that and development of those characters, and I'm interested in their relationships. Whereas in this, like, there's good interactions, but there's not really any development of anything. It definitely felt like they couldn't move the story in any real significant way other than a few characters they were allowed to kill, like Stick, for example.
Yeah.
Who loses a hand and then gets killed.
Yeah. It's kind of insult to injury, but yeah.
But let's talk about Sigourney Weaver.
Oh yeah, she's dead.
Yeah.
She
just unceremoniously gets stabbed in the chest by Elektra finally using her size for the first time.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, she finally did it after looking at them several times over.
Yeah.
And not picking them up. I'm like, how hard are you going to tease this? That she's going to eventually use the size. We know it. She should have picked it from the beginning.
See, I don't think they were doing that to be like, oh yeah, she might use the size, guys, but maybe not. I think that was showing that she actually had memory of who she was.
Did she ever use the size before? In the old show? No.
I thought she did.
I don't remember it.
Maybe, I thought in a flashback or something.
Maybe, but...
No, wasn't she being trained, when she was being trained by Stick in a flashback, wasn't she using the size?
Maybe, but is that enough to say that's the weapon she's used when she was alive?
I don't know, because we never really saw much of her being an assassin. Otherwise,
yeah, I don't know. I just thought that should have been her weapon from the beginning.
Yeah, not all the different swords and crap.
Yeah. It was unnecessary to have to drag that out and then make that moment. And then when you killed Sigourney Weaver, all the stuff they were building up about her character was just wasted at that point.
Yeah,
I was really interested in her. They kept throwing out little tidbits of her being really, really old. She's been around for a really long time.
Yeah,
and I thought that would have paid off in some interesting way.
Yeah,
and they kept throwing out little hints about her being able to fight. That she's supposed to be a really good fighter, but for whatever reason she doesn't do it.
Yeah,
I don't know why. They never really implied was she. We didn't find out. Was it because she was afraid that she wasn't good enough, or or was it because,
or maybe it was
she was holding back for some reason? I don't know.
Well, because the whole thing starts where she finds out she's dying. So I kind of assumed that maybe it was because her body was failing her and she wasn't going to go through the next treatment to keep her alive. Because they used it to get Elektra. That's what I kind of assumed.
It's a possibility.
But yeah, it should have been better handled. Maybe give her one good fight scene.
Yeah, but it's never delved into because they tell you she's dying.
Yeah.
And every once in a while she's got to take some pills because she's I feel bad and something's wrong with me. I have to take pills and now I'm okay. That's all you got out of it. It never amounted to anything.
Yeah.
And she was good. I liked her character. I felt like she was intimidating, everybody. And it's another thing is with that, on that same note, and I know I'm talking a lot.
Dude, that's fine.
All the other members of the Hand seemed to be kind of afraid of her and they respected her as their leader. Yet
she was Zool.
Yeah, right.
Or not Zool.
Yet they were all better fighters than her.
No, she was Zool.
As far as what I would imagine, because we only saw her at that one point. Take down Elektra briefly with some cool looking little maneuvers just when she was before she even knew what she was doing, Elektra, when she was just brought back to life.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like she was underutilized, but maybe at the same time maybe it was a thing with Sigourney Weaver where she's like, look, I can't do the fighting, I don't know, I'm not gonna make excuses for it. It was a little underwhelming and disappointing.
Yeah, sure, but do something I don't know, have her get a hold of some of the substance, right?
Yeah.
And then have a different actor play a young version of her, you know? And that'd be cool. I've been okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we got nothing. Let's talk about the substance, Brian. How do you feel about the substance?
Oh, it is very much just a Deus Ex Machina kind of we just need something, just have it be a thing that keeps you alive. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Hey, did you ever think of a name for how we're keeping these people alive? Whatever, just keep it. We need to get this thing going. It was lame.
It's like Avatar and Unobtainium.
Yeah, but at least Unobtainium is a trope where it just shows up in movies where it's oh, we don't know what to call this thing, so it's this.
But I kept I understood maybe in the beginning they were saying the substance because they were kind of being vague about it, but as it went on and on,
it turns out it's dragon bones,
right. I'm all right, you didn't want to say dragon bones, but what is it about the bones that makes them?
They're dragon bones.
I don't get it. Is it the marrow? Do they grind them up? It's not like I need to know, but like you didn't explain.
Also, we kind of just glanced over the fact that dragons are actually a thing.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, there's a giant dragon under Manhattan.
Yeah, so like the big hole in the ground from Daredevil season 2 led to an underground cavern.
Yeah.
Where there's apparently dragon bones, and they can't get in because they need the Iron Fist to open the door. To which I thought when they finally went down there, I'm like, you're telling me that no amount of like explosives, C4, modern technology at all could get through this, whatever. What is it made of?
Unobtainium. Were you paying attention?
Right?
Yeah.
It must have been, I guess.
Yeah, that was a little wonky, but I kind of just rolled with it. Because it's a story.
It's not a good one.
Yeah, I didn't say it was.
Like it all it boils down to the whole plan that they had was that they needed to get more of the substance so they don't die.
Yeah.
Because all the hand leaders use this stuff so that if they die, they come back to life somehow.
Yep.
Except if you cut off their head. Yeah. Which, knowing that, I mean, just cut off their head.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, just pull a Highlander.
I mean, because you can kill them by normal means and then cut off their head.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not very well handled, and the fact that they also, if by mining these dragon bones out, it will cause part of New York City to collapse.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, that really doesn't make any sense at all.
It was a really big dragon.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
Yeah, that was all really wonky because it was an open cavern that the dragon was in. Like, they weren't excavating it, as far as I can remember, right? Like, it was just all open, and they were just like they bored a hole and they were just like carving up the bones.
Yeah.
So why would that all of a sudden cause it to collapse any more so than this giant hole in cavern that they built?
Yeah, it's a cavern. Like, I don't think these dragon bones are holding up this cavern. It wouldn't make any sense.
No.
So that was really wonky.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're really cool moments. Okay, you know what I liked?
When Iron Fist showed up at the end and he had the green track suit on with like the yellow lining that kind of looked like his original costume a little.
No, that disappointed me also.
Yeah. See, actually what I would have liked... Oh, okay, yeah, let's say this thing. It made it look like Daredevil was dead, and then they used that as a way to introduce his mother. But like, I was actually hoping they were going to go the route, and I thought it would be kind of cool, is if they didn't do that. If like they just left it open where you thought, Matt Murdock was dead, because he stayed behind when this whole thing collapsed, or whatever. And because there was a thing in the comics where Danny ran for a little while to go for the mantle of Daredevil. Okay. And I thought that would have been really cool because he says, like, protect my city.
Right, yeah.
That would have been so cool if in the end you see him put on you see Danny Rand like pull on like the mask of like from the first Daredevil, like from the end of the first Daredevil. Like, that would have been really cool.
Well, I expected him to do like the sort of like thing over his face.
Oh, like put the scarf over his face? Like, that would have looked like his mask from the comics?
Right. Because that was the perfect moment to do that.
Yeah.
Come up with something that looks kind of like that works for him. Obviously, he needs to be able to see through it. It would have been perfect. And the costume they put him in the end was fine, whatever it was. It's not like I didn't like that. It's just, I wanted that. He had nothing over his face. Like, he should. It makes perfect sense that at that point in this show, he would have needed to put a mask on.
Yeah.
Because he knows he can't be a public hero anymore. They've learned already the problems that's gonna create.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also kind of, there's several moments where I was like, Jessica Jones is gonna fly, right? She should do that, right? Because that would be a great way to show a new ability and to everybody have a cool
differentiate her.
Yeah, and differentiate her.
Like, that would have been really cool if like they saved it for like when the elevator shaft or when the elevator car was gonna fall, instead of her just like holding it, if she was just like there in midair holding it.
Right, yeah.
That would have been really cool.
That would have been great.
You know, and just have it just like slightly going down where she's like, this is kind of heavy. Do you guys want to move or something? Like, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. I still like that moment.
It was a great moment.
It was good.
I think you're right. Like that, you know, that they probably should have shown her flying. And I think that would have been a cool.
Yeah, because when you think about like her role in all of this, like Luke Cage can do whatever she can do.
Yeah.
And better because he's bulletproof. I don't know the extent of how tough and durable she is.
Yeah.
But and I don't know if she's stronger than him or not. It's not really determined. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because they're both super strong.
Yeah.
So like I really wanted that.
Yeah.
I really hope they do that at some point because they kind of made in the Jessica Jones series like out that it seemed like she could almost do it, but she didn't really know how to try, or never really tried to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll delve into it a little more in the in season 2.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I have hopes for that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else about this?
Let's see.
Well,
I mean, again, just it was good, but it was what we've seen before. It's really what I kind of came to expect it to be, not what I hoped it would be, but what I expected it to be.
Yeah, you know, it's more the same, and I'm getting a little disappointed and a little unsure of where this Netflix stuff is going because it's been sliding down. You know, Daredevil season 1 and Jessica Jones season 1 are great.
Yeah.
Daredevil season 2 is also very, very good. But then Luke Cage is hit and miss. Actually, all these are hit and miss. Luke Cage, Iron Fist and Defenders are all very hit and miss.
Yeah.
Like they have good stuff and they have bad stuff, and they amount to just being like not great shows that I wouldn't really want to recommend these to people.
Yeah.
I would definitely tell people, watch Daredevil 1 and 2 and watch Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't tell, and especially people who aren't comic book fans, like I wouldn't tell them like if you like all this stuff, you're gonna like all this.
Jessica Jones is the one that I would recommend to anyone. Daredevil I would recommend to somebody if they like gritty crime drama or superhero stuff. But Jessica Jones, I would just recommend that to anyone. Yeah,
it's these shows have become something that I enjoy as a comic book fan, but I wouldn't feel like proud to be like, you should definitely watch the last 3 that just came out. And then
but if you want to watch the Defenders, you kind of have to watch all of it leading up to it.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't recommend you watch Defenders if you haven't watched the other ones because there's less meaning behind it all.
Yeah.
So, Punisher is next.
Yeah, I don't care.
You know, we did get a trailer for that at the end of it.
Yeah, sure, I guess, kind of.
That trailer is just kind of a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't do anything for me.
No.
I'm hoping the show is good. Because I really liked the Punisher in Daredevil season 2.
Yeah, I liked John Barenthal. I liked what he did with it, but I don't have high hopes for it because I don't really care about the character. It's very much like I'm going into this very much the way I did Iron Fist. Like, I hope it's good, but I don't care about the character, so like I can't be disappointed.
I mean, I'm going in the same way also, but in that I don't know a ton about the Punisher, and I'm interested, and I'm excited to see if they do a good job with it. You know, when I go into these shows, so I'm not a huge comic book reader. You know, I've read a lot of stuff in the past, but there's a lot of these smaller characters that I don't really follow. So I go into these things wanting to love the character. I'm like basically saying during the show, you make me love this character. You know? And sometimes they succeed. You know, like Jessica Jones. Like I know almost nothing about her, but now I love that character. Yeah. You know, a lot of Marvel's movies did that. You know, like Doctor Strange. Like I thought he was always kind of cool, but I never really bothered to look into more about him. And now I really love that character. Ant-Man the same way. Like I love Ant-Man now. Yeah. Before I didn't really think too much about him. You know. Yeah. So that's what I always hope going into these new shows. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I hope it's good. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say other than that.
So
it's just
unenthusiastic about this.
I mean, I don't care about...
No, that's it. Show's over.
All right. We had a good run. Sorry, Roger.
No, I mean this episode.
Oh, yeah. Listen next week. One that will most likely be on time.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. Unless you got anything else. Last minute. Rick and Morty is always great.
Rick and Morty, yeah.
Yeah, watch it.
Yeah. I can't recommend it enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's basically just like happiness in 22 minutes. Like it's so weird and quirky and fun. Like just watch it. Like I don't need to go into the episodes. Like it's just great.
Yeah, we know we don't want to talk about it because we don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah,
it's great.
Then we already gushed about it. Before we started
did that
recording.
Before we saved you guys from it. Okay.
Yeah, all of the just blowing out the levels of it was so good. Yeah.
All right, so then this has been the Superhero's Journey.
Yes, it has.
Episode 14.
Yep.
And find us on Twitter at the Superhero's Journey. No E in super.
Yep.
And write to us at the superheroesjourney at gmail.com, where heroes is plural, not possessive.
You ever think that maybe we don't get emails because people don't know the difference between plural and possessive?
Well, I challenge them to look that up.
I challenge their intellect. Which is the one with the E and which is the one with the apostrophe.
Yeah, like discover. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Heroes plural is Heroes.
Yeah.
Okay. Not apostrophe S, that's possessive.
Yes.
Quick little grammar lesson, okay? I like grammar. I like spelling.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
My name is Carl Freeman.
I'm Brian Shores.
The co-host of the show.
The co-host.
Grammatically correct.
Yeah. Spelling-wise, maybe not, but...
And that's it.
Yep.